Why?
What's up, champs? Crown C, Crown Cobain, hashtag Team Fit Frame. Today, I want to talk about something someone asked me via Snapchat, and I figured, you know what? I usually answer these questions via Snapchat, or I answer the questions directly to them. But I decided today, I think it's an important topic, so I decided, you know what? Let me get on the camera and do this for YouTube, because I know this is something that people struggle with on a daily basis. Even me sometimes, when you're out and about and you want to get some food, you don't know what to do, you don't know what kind of food you should decide on. So really quickly, the question was from, I wrote it down over here, from Kiara from North Carolina, Raleigh. If I'm saying that wrong, just type it down in my comment. I usually slay words a lot of times. But the question was, she wanted to know basically, what are some good food choices to make when you are out and about with friends or family and it's very difficult to decide on what to eat? So Kiara, basically what you want to do, you want to think about the time that you're eating your meal. So a lot of times what I base my meals on is greens, proteins, and carbs depending on the time of day. So let's say for the most part when you're going out with friends or family, it's gonna be dinner time. I would try to stay away from carbs as much as possible. I would try to go with the greens and protein. So for instance, if you're gonna eat salmon, chicken, a steak, I will have that with a green. Now the only thing with restaurants when you go out, people think that, okay, you know what, I'm gonna eat asparagus or spinach, or I'm gonna get a Brussels sprouts or broccoli, which is a great option. It's a better option than getting the potatoes mixed with all the crap that they put on it. But a lot of times these restaurants, they cook with a lot of seasoning. That's why it tastes so good. And they cook these foods with a lot of butter, especially the vegetables. So it all depends on where you're at. Sometimes you can ask the waiter if you can tell the chef, I'm allergic to butter. I don't want too much butter on my food, because butter, it's a lot of fat. You don't really want that in your body. So once in a blue, it's completely fine. But if you're someone who's trying to stay on point and you want to stay away from these things, it doesn't hurt to ask. You ask them, listen, can you please make mine without butter because I'm allergic to butter? Can you lay down on the salt? Lay back a little bit on the salt because I'm allergic to salt as well. So things like that. A lot of times, especially fancy restaurants, they ask you, is anyone allergic to certain things in here, yada, yada, yada. So, you can bring that up and tell them that. Because a lot of times if you tell them, oh, can you hold the butter for me? They may not do that, you know what I mean? Can you not put too much salt on my food? They may not do that. But if you tell them that you're allergic to it, now they may be able to do that for you, because, it becomes an issue now. Like if they give you something and you break out, or whatever the case may be, then that's their fault. So they don't want that problem, especially in restaurants. So quick little tip for you right there. You can try that out. A lot of times they may say no, and if they don't, then just dip and dab for the time being. But for the most part, you want to try to stay away from carbohydrates, especially at night. If you're not gonna, because remember, carbohydrates, right? We're using that for energy. So a lot of times, prior YouTube videos that I made, I spoke about carbohydrates being something to be used before weight training purposes or right after weight training purposes. If you're someone who's not doing too much weight training, then you can balance out the way you eat your carbohydrates, but we still need carbohydrates in our body. You know what I mean? So it's all about how you manipulate the way you eat. Breakfast time, perfect time to get some carbohydrates. I personally like to eat oatmeal. If you're a guy and you're trying to get your gains or whatnot, you can knock down some rice early in the morning, man. If you're a skinny guy, if you're an ectomorph, ectomorph being a skinny guy, thinner, and you're trying to put on some mass, it's cool. You need the calories, man, especially if you don't have any fat going on, and you're a young kid or a young guy, whatever the case may be. You might not have too much fat. You can dip and dab with the rice and the sweet potatoes. I'd rather go with the whole food kind of thing, the more natural food purposes, like the sweet potatoes, any kind of potatoes, usually white or sweet potatoes, quinoa, the couscous, but those things are not heavy on calories. But if you're a guy and you're trying to put on some mass, you need those calories from your carbohydrates and from anything else that you could, mass gainer as well, you can get that. But for females or anyone who's trying to lose weight, you want to lay back off the carbs. And of course, this is the natural way of thinking. Everyone says, you know, watch the calories or whatnot. And here's another problem. You know, they started doing it a few years ago. They started doing this thing with the calories, so marking down the calories, like places in McDonald's, any fast food restaurants, so people can see what's going on in the calories, how much calories you have in certain meals that you're eating. Now, which is a great concept, and I completely understand it. Watching your calories, for instance, 3,500 calories equals a pound of fat. Most nutrition labels are based on a 2,000 calorie count. So you kind of want to stay a little under that, especially if you're a female trying to lose weight. You kind of want to balance it out as much as possible. It all depends on your height, your weight, your gender. You know what I mean? So a lot of these topics I'm going to talk about later on, but just make sure it's important that you're watching your calorie intake, which is very important. But another thing you have to watch out for is a lot of times you're eating these calories, but there's still so much sugar in these foods. There's still refined carbs in these foods. So it's all about balance. So what I tend to choose is any greens, anything that's whole food, like sweet potatoes, red potatoes. Ask how they make it. You know, don't be shy. Ask how they make it. Don't be afraid, oh, they might judge me, or I'm with my family and friends. Forget that. They're gonna support you. And if they don't support you, it doesn't matter, because when you start looking like a fucking doll, or if you're a dude and you start looking like Ken, you know what I'm saying? Ripped up, whatever the case may be, it's gonna be phenomenal. They're gonna be like, yo, how'd you do that? How'd you do that? You're gonna have haters. They're gonna come. They're gonna be there. They're gonna see how much work you're putting in, and they wanna be a part of that. But sometimes when someone's telling you, oh, you're on a diet now? Oh, you're trying to get ripped up? Oh, you're trying to look good? Come on, please. You got haters because they can't do it. They tried to do it and they couldn't do it. So now you're over here, you got your mind on the game, you're focused like a mofo, and now they're watching you and they want to be a part of that, but they can't. So you gotta set the standards. Get your ass in shape, and then you can bring people in. They see what's going on with you, and then they get motivated. You see what I'm saying? So I truthfully don't like to go out too much, because it's a headache when you go out. I understand, but if you're someone that tends to go out a lot with your friends, I would try to hold back as much as possible, because if you're around that environment, it's going to be very difficult to focus on keeping a proper diet. You know what I mean? I always like to preach on making your own meals. Make your own meals. Try to make your own meals. Learn how to make your own meals. Getting fit is not just about, oh, I need my summer body. Oh, I need to lose 10 pounds for this vacation. It has to be a lifestyle. You understand? It has to be a mental focus. You have to be very disciplined. And it has to be about you, nobody else. The minute that you get that in your head, once you figure that out, it's gonna be smooth sailing. Smooth sailing, baby. So again, you're going out, you're going somewhere to eat. I would ask, where are we eating? Ask that question, where are we eating? Try to look at the menu beforehand. Try to make that decision beforehand. Nowadays, you have the menus on the internet. Look it up on the internet, baby. Look it up on the internet, see what you have, see what your options are. And then you can choose from there. And once you get to the restaurant, boom, the waiter comes in, you can ask the question, hey, do you mind if you lay off the butter a little bit, or can you lay off the salt? I'm a little allergic to it. And that way, it'll help you with your diet. Again, dinner time, if you're not gonna work out after dinner and you're out at Outback Steakhouse, whatever the case may be, stay with the greens and stay with the proteins. Stay in that area. And if you do eat any kind of potatoes or any carbs, I would stay with whole foods, of course. Potatoes, anything like that. Any mac and cheese, anything that's a process, I would totally stay away from. Guys, I hope this helps you out. If you have any questions, or if you feel like you may want me to make another video with this topic, let me know. I'll get down to it, and I'll break it down in details for you guys. Remember, picture the goals, frame the results, stay fit, about life. Peace.